Deven, start off with you. 3% lower today, 152 points shaved off. You think in the near term, I mean, can't rule out a bounce back maybe, but in the near term, we are headed for further lower levels?
Yes, Neeraj, good morning. Well, I think can't rule out. I think that we will probably head towards the lower levels. Understand one thing, that the kind of a panic which is getting created into this market is less from the domestic side and more from the international side, wherein the index trading funds who have been basically employing their money in the past into this market have suddenly started withdrawing those funds, and probably we have seen from 5,700 just before the RBI policy to now at around less than 5,100. I think it's all because of their withdrawal which is going around. So to a quite possible that I think they continue to withdraw that money for a shorter period of time. I think they may probably land the market at a lower level. That is quite possible. How much lower? Anybody's guess. But in my viewpoint, I think it will not sustain at the lower levels, because I think what I see is that a possibility of a bounce back in between, for a simple reason that we offer a unique kind of an advantage into this kind of a proposition. One, we offer interest rate arbitrage situation in this market, I think, which is because of the RBI's tighter monetary norms. I think we are offering a 10-year bond yield at around 8.4 plus. The second important advantage happening because of the currency arbitrage situation that we have already entered into by default, in whichever way you want to look at it. I think in the medium to long term, dollar will stay weak and rupee will stay a little bit, I think, on a positive side because of the equation turning positive for India. So rupee probably would go stronger, and as a result of which I think currency arbitrage situation is created. And third and most fundamental aspect which I look at, I think, very systematically, is the kind of a growth arbitrage that we are having vis-a-vis those markets. I think we offer 7.5% growth, and at the same time corporates offering the earning growth in our country with the relatively high amount of cash compared to 2008-9 period. So valuation advantage also comes in our favor. So all put together, I think India remains, I think, a favorable choice by default, even if you want to call it, I think, in medium to long term, because of, I think, these kind of changes which are happening into global space.
Deven, the reaction in the IT majors is not surprising at all. The point being, some of the larger ones have shaved off quite a bit post their numbers as well, and they have shaved off another 10-12% in a matter of 2 days. You believe the risks are priced in completely, or it's just difficult to pinpoint that right now?
Well, again, I think when I evaluate the IT companies and some of the frontline majors, I think when I evaluate their business and the business prospects and the business model and the possibility of getting new business because of the kind of situation in which the globe is, I find that I think fundamentally things haven't changed as much. On the contrary, I think if Obama government says that they want to effectively spend their money, in such situation, I think more amount of outsourcing would be resorted, and I think the business for IT companies would certainly remain, I think, in good shape. That is what my take is. The question out here is about, I think, the valuation. The valuation of these companies have been staying around 20 plus kind of a price earning ratio, and that has started coming down more because I think the funds which invested into these particular companies are the trading funds, are the index funds, and they started pulling out those kind of money because of the want of money back home. So in such situation, I think they are basically bringing those valuation down, and it is obvious that when you want to exit, I think you would start, I think, knocking out your portfolio, which is quoting at a higher sum of valuation. So that is what the IT companies are becoming victim of. And my reading says that I think moment I think you see the slowing down of this particular withdrawal of money from the system, probably some of these IT companies would stabilize. However, in comparison to the other markets and other stocks, I think where the valuations have become far too attractive, IT companies are still reasonably priced. So to an extent, I think it's an adjustment which is going on also at the same time in the portfolios. We'll have to wait and see as to how they stabilize. But to my mind, fundamentally things are not looking as negative as it is being feared about with the fall in the prices of IT companies.